What's up, everybody? Merry Christmas, happy holidays to one and all. This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another wrestling news video. Yes, sir, ma'am. I said wrestling news. This is part 75 of the wrestling news video in episode 192, of the SNA podcast, where we're going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Sportskeeda article on December 23rd, 2023. We're going to start off in today's video with 15-time WWE champion available for on-screen return after over 2 years. Triple H's WWE has been several big changes since he took over creative duties in 2022. Many top names returned to the company, including William Regal. The only catch was that he wasn't allowed to appear on TV or on television. Regal left AEW in 2022 to return to WWE, stating that he wanted to coach his son, Charlie Dempsey. This resulted in a clause that didn't allow him to appear as an on-screen character in 2023, ensuring the iconic British star wouldn't do anything beyond his duties as vice president of global talent development, with no more televised WWE shows this year. Dave Meltzer reported that the clause is as good as over. He wrote in the latest issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that William Regal is set to be available to appear. He said, "Regal's not compete as far as appearing on television is just about over at the point at the time Regal left AEW." He said that he wasn't going to be appearing on television. He hasn't worked for NXT, and they have Shawn Michaels as any authority figure who, while not as good at the job as Regal, is a far bigger name. They just hired Nick Aldis for that role on SmackDown and wouldn't have done so if they planned to put Regal in that spot, wrote Dave Meltzer. It remains to be seen if William Regal returns as a regular character or simply make occasional cameos. He last appeared on WWE television in September 2021, following the launch of NXT 2.0. But anyways, what's your thoughts on Dave Meltzer's comments? Is he? I guess the clause already expired, and it's officially over, that his non-appearance clause of WWE from AEW is set. Even if it was like 6 months, it probably already been expired, obviously. And it's been over a year that the clause was set, and he went to WWE and started training his son, Charlie Dempsey. But that's only if that's the case. Unless it was a full year clause, then yeah, it's already passed. Like, because for the fact that he left in November, December of 22, like by that time it's already over, and it looks like we could see him as an authority figure. But it looked like it should be back as general manager duties on NXT or something, yeah. Because excuse me, because Shawn Michaels is more of a booker than a general manager. Like, he like doing all the things that more than a general manager would do. So I would say William Regal would possibly could go back and be a part of a fit of the general managing duties, if that makes sense, of course. But we're just gonna have to see what's next for the uh, see what's next for the let's see what's next for the gentleman from Blackpool, I should say. Yeah. But also say William Regal was one of the greatest GMs in WWE history. There is reasons why like fans are eager to see see Regal return as an on-screen figure, as great as Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are in their current roles. The former Intercontinental Champion may have been the greatest general manager ever. And it says right here, William Regal ruled over NXT with calm authority and in fairness, like command, commanding respect from the entire roster at all times, without going out of his way to hurt anyone. His legitimacy was a big part of why the black and gold brand was was as successful as it was. As a result, it would be in Triple H's best interest to find a regular on screen role, like for Mr. Regal, perhaps he could replace Aldis as SmackDown GM. Man, it if the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion decides to wrestle again. That's a good question. Yeah, like if Nick Aldis decided to wrestle, especially considering like if a longtime friend and rival Cody Rhodes I did ever win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, or shall I said it like in a more of a reference, but I guess it's kind of too late. But if he, let's just say, if he ever won the championship and he wanted to challenge Cody Rhodes for the championship, like who could take his place as SmackDown GM? That man could possibly be none other than the gentleman from Blackpool himself. Could see that happening. And what if his wife none other than be a free agent herself. She could possibly make the jump to WWE. Like considering it's a whole different regime, and even though like it was not, I know like Vince McMahon apologized from the time when somebody in WWE put all her belongings in the trash bag disrespectfully, but it was technically his call for her to be one of the women that was released due to the budget cuts like that was going on in 2021, like when three-quarters of a half of the roster was released, all because of all because of all because he couldn't afford to keep them. Like, and most of them was because of the hush money scandal, which I'm not sure he should have used business money. Like when it comes to that category, like whatever he does outside the business, that's his business. But he should have did it in his own terms. He should have did it in his own terms with his own money. That's like his free money. Like whatever he does, whatever he wants with it. You don't mess with, you don't mix, you don't mix business with personal and also business with pleasure. But, anyways, what's your thoughts on, William Regal possibly being SmackDown GM if Nick Aldis decides to wrestle again? And yeah, for the fact that there's so much competition on the SmackDown brand, like as we saw last night with teases with Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns like being a potential challenger to him in his potential WWE run. Like, or even it could be just Cody Rhodes, a LA Knight, even Randy Orton for the fact that he RKO'd him a month ago, or was it a month ago? Or it was a couple weeks ago, I should say, like when he got officially signed to SmackDown. Or it could have been 3 weeks ago, but I'll say give it a month ago. I'll say at the end of November. So it could be with the likes of Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, whoever might be on SmackDown. And then let's just say if his wife, Mickie James, comes back. We can see her being on the SmackDown brand. They never say never in the sport. Like anything could happen. Or he can even have some bangers with the likes of Dragon Lee as well on SmackDown and Rey Mysterio. And he also admitted that he's a fan of the of the self-proclaimed ex-condom. Like not the ex-condom himself, but the ex-condom's deadbeat dad. Self-proclaimed ex-condom's so-called deadbeat dad, I should say. Then he can have some dream matches with him as well. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think he'll be SmackDown GM, or do you think he's going to continue being Charlie Dempsey's trainer, his son Charlie Dempsey's trainer? Or do you think that he's going to be or do you think he's going to be some kind of, or is it be some kind of, is going to be some, or is it going to be somebody, or is he going to be something else as an on, or is he going to be something else as an on-screen character, or like some kind of a manager, wrestling manager that's someone that's very similar to him, like to Butch. Like he could be Butch's manager, or he could be Ridge Holland's manager on NXT. Like of him remaking the name for himself and training him that not hit his moves, not his moves stiffly, but he could be a hard hitting wrestler, just not too much stiffness, which I doubt he's that stiff. Like maybe he could be, like in ways that it could be in like in inconvenient moments that needs to be developed. Yeah, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, I will let y'all decide in the comments down below on what's the future for William Regal now. He's back in WWE. Okay, next up we got eight-time WWE champion to replace Cody Rhodes as Roman Reigns' opponent at WrestleMania 40, exploring the possibility. And it says it seems like uh, WWE has the two main event matches, I should say, of WrestleMania 40 set in stone, with Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes likely being the headliner of the entire weekend. They might wrap up night two again while CM Punk set to face Seth Rollins, close out not like CM Punk and Seth Rollins, like close out WrestleMania night one. These are possible. These are probably the two biggest matches in like WWE can book right now. So it makes sense for it makes sense for them to come to fruition, like how what if what if that not like see like what however what if CM Punk wins the 2024 men's Royal Rumble match and chooses to face Roman Reigns instead? This would be a massive twist, but there is a good reason. The tribal chief is a few months away, from surpassing Hulk Hogan's record title reign of 1,474 days. Uh, Ray, Roman will do Roman will do so if he remains like the undisputed WWE Universal Champion until at least September 2024. So with with Roman Reigns on the verge of un, an unparalleled history, he will have to win at WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes has been earned marked to face the tribal chief at Wrestle at WrestleMania 40 at the since losing at the show of shows this year. However, another another defeat would destroy his credibility after the Stanford-based promotion did well like to preserve it over from the past year. CM Punk can afford to lose at WrestleMania 40 with his story revolving around main eventing the show of shows. He gets to achieve the opposite of Roman Reigns, even if he ends up in defeat. As a result, it might be wise to pit the two against each other in April 2024, while Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have other other opponents, respectively. And what's your thoughts on this? Could it be CM Punk that could possibly be Roman Reigns' next opponent? Like, and he can put Roman Reigns over, and Roman Reigns can surpass Hulk Hogan's reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, being over could go over 1,474 days and be like of counting, like if he can pass SummerSlam and go to September as remaining undisputed champ. But I don't think everybody would love that. Like to see a endless, continuous reign as undisputed champion. So I guess it's best for him to already just drop the title to the drop the title to the American Nightmare. If you ask me, like for Cody to finish the story, because I don't think no one can bear a record breaking title reign from the Tribal Chief. I think they should have Cody win the Rumble, or even a some kind of an invitational invitational number one contenders elimination chamber match, and number one contenders match. Who's going to face the Tribal Chief for his undisputed title? If CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, and he'll face Seth Rollins for his World Heavyweight Championship, and main event night one, perhaps. But what may happen, let me know in the comments down below what y'all's thoughts on who should face Roman Reigns at the show of shows. But yeah, I would think that both men should finish their stories in 2024, like with CM Punk, like getting his main event moment, and Cody Rhodes getting his moment of finishing the story to become WWE champion. Well, okay, let's continue with Cody Rhodes must win at WrestleMania 40. Like it might be necessary to prolong Cody Rhodes' story, depending on whether WWE wants Roman Reigns to surpass Hulk Hogan's title reign. Like the American Nightmare has to win at WrestleMania 40, be it against the Tribal Chief or someone else. Like a match against Seth Rollins would be a decent alternative, like especially with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. However, Rhodes has already defeated the Visionary multiple times, which would lessen the impact of his potential win. Randy Orton is the perfect opponent for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40, if not Roman Reigns. Like the two have a storied history together, and they both have a score to settle, like with the bloodline. So they might get in each other's way. This this is a solid this is a solid basis for a feud between the two before they delve into their past, like in the legacy. Both superstars have grown like immensely, like since then, making for a great story. A win over Orton would help Rhodes continued the journey back to Reigns' finally winning the undisputed WWE Universal Championship after September 2024. And who you think that will dethrone the tribal chief for his title after like if he surpasses Hulk Hogan's reign? And do you think Cody Rhodes is going to face Randy Orton instead? Might face him at WrestleMania 40, or do you think it will be Roman Reigns? Which we, which I think this could be another way we could do it, like with Cody Rhodes, like he could join WWE. He could be it don't necessarily be elimination chamber match. It could be some kind of a number one contenders match between Orton and Rhodes, which I think they should wait until they have their one-on-one dream match after Cody Rhodes faces Roman Reigns. And this is how we could do it like this. Like we could have a multi-man match. Uh, we could have a build-up like with LA Knight and AJ Styles, like with them being in the match. We could have Orton, Rhodes, and it could be a six-man match, and we could think of two other wrestlers like Kevin Owens too. We could have Kevin Owens be added to the match, and we got I would say, and a Karrion Kross. Oh yeah, him too, a Karrion Kross, which he could be a potential name, but yeah, we could have them. We end up with Randy or Cody Rhodes, or it could be a number one contenders match, like as well. Like it could be all the names, and Cody Rhodes will end up winning. Like somehow he could be traded to SmackDown with somebody on Raw, like he could be traded to SmackDown and bring somebody to Raw, which it could be, I don't know, Sheamus perhaps. I'll say Sheamus, and he can even finish his story of becoming Intercontinental Champion by finally beating Gunther for his longest reign as Intercontinental Champion. But yeah, what's your thoughts? Like how Cody Rhodes could finish the story, or even CM Punk will face Roman Reigns. And he finished the story because he kind of brought them to the main roster along with Rollins and Dean Ambrose, now known as Jon Moxley. And he's the original Paul Heyman guy before Roman Reigns has ever had. So we could tell so much story about that. But I think it'll be better if Cody Rhodes finally finished the story, because that's the point of him for the past year, of keep getting wins and wins and wins until he goes back to Roman. I guess it's a totally different Cody, right? Because you don't have nobody around you, and you're not gonna have nobody around, and then Orton's gonna be too busy with Solo, and this is gonna be you and me, and they're gonna have our match, and then like Solo's gonna be too busy with Orton, and then Jimmy Uso is gonna be too busy with his other brother, his twin brother, Jay, main event Jay Uso, which I still think is gonna have that match. And we're gonna finally have their father Rikishi be the special guest referee on the showcase of the Immortals, which it's only a matter of time when that happens in 2024. But let's move on to the next slide of the wrestling news. We got some more Shaw Flair news, as she was spotted on crutches at non WWE wrestling show. And it says, despite suffering a devastating injury that will keep her away from WWE for 9 months, Charlotte Flair has made it a point to support her husband. The the Queen attended the most recent CMLL show, like to watch Andrade El Idolo in action. The the promotion's official Twitter handle posted about Flair's appearance in in the the Twitter like about the front row, like but additional footage of her at the show has emerged, I should say. The 14-time world champion was spotted at CMLL's vent like Viern's ex spectacular show, I should say, in v, Viern's spectacular show, like using crutches, like in struggling to walk as she made her way to her seat. Of course, this is because of her of the nature of her injury. Charlotte Flair suffered a torn ACL and MCL in a in a meniscus in a meniscus in a min, in a meniscus, I should say, a meniscus during her match against Asuka 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. A fan at the arena Mexico posted a video of her arriving to support Andrade on Twitter. Flair is reportedly scheduled for knee surgery like in January. This means if all goes well, the Queen will be expected to return around October of 2024. Sportskeeda Wrestling wishes Charlotte all the best in her recovery from this injury. Hopefully, she will return better than ever. Yeah, same here goes to Super Ninja Austin, courtesy to the SNA podcast. I wish the Queen of Flares the best of luck and full and fast and speedy recovery, so she could be back in the ring sooner rather than later. But it looks like but it seems like the earliest might be between September or October, which that's like that'll be she'd be out for the rest of for the most of the first half of 2024, and she's definitely going to be missing the Royal Rumble, not to mention WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Let's hope this change and she'll have. Let's hope this change, like at least half of the matter, like at least she'll be back by the summertime. For at least she'll be ready for SummerSlam, but it looks like she'll be out of action anytime after that pay-per-view. It'll be towards fall that she'll be making her return. It'll be something similar to when Randy Orton got injured, but it looks like it's gonna be a little bit, not that much. She won't be missing not that much action. Like if she don't return like sooner, like when she's like halfway there, like halfway from recovery, she should be very she should be very healthy by then. Yeah. which which is a unfortunate loss, like for us wrestling fans, like of seeing Charlotte Flair being injured. Even though it could be a blessing in disguise with her not taking up the whole opportunities for women for the women's championship, but I think even for being cleared to compete, I think she wouldn't be taking the opportunity. She would have gotten a women's championship reign like in the somewhere in the near future. But just to drop it and put over a big talent like someone like a Jade Cargill. She would have probably did something like that for a favor. But unfortunately, they look like they're gonna postpone any plans between her and the former TBS champion until 2025, like when it comes to Mania season. But yeah, I'm gonna wish her a speedy recovery, and we're gonna move on, like continuing with who will replace Charlotte Flair on WWE SmackDown. Like Charlotte Flair went down injury as number two injury as the number two babyface, like on SmackDown, behind Bianca Belair. As a result, WWE may need to scramble to ensure to ensure the Blue Brand's women's division isn't com- as pro- compro- compromised. Like perhaps Bailey's face turn in ex, ex in, in expulsion like from damage control may be sped up to fill the queen shaped void like on SmackDown. However, this might prompt Triple H to go all out in his potential pursuit for Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, to make her WWE return. It would be massive if that happens, of course. Like either way, any potential plans for Flair in 2024 have to be scrapped, as she might miss uh, the entire the entire year. It will be interesting to see how things change, like on SmackDown regarding new additions to the roster. Like, and do you think that Bailey will take her place as the second face of SmackDown, like next to Bianca Belair, of course? Like, if she gets kicked out of Damage Control, like something similar to when Sami Zayn got kicked out of the Bloodline kind of storyline, and it'll be like a full, I won't say full, I'll say nearly 5 years of her being a heel, and I think she needs the breath of fresh air, and this will be the best way to do so, like getting kicked off of her own group with her the getting kicked out, and then she can add Bianca Belair, even though y'all get tired of Bianca, but Bianca being in a feud with Damage Control, but this is a totally different Damage Control. Like y'all see her teaming with Bianca, and then they can have someone like a Shotzi, and then we could have somebody else fill in the fourth spot, like if Dakota Kai ever gets injured. And do you think it could be Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks' return? That remains to be seen. Like if she decides to re-sign with the Stanford-based promotion, because rumor has it that she's asking for a large number of a price, like way more than Shaw Flair's renewal of her contract. And if WWE agrees with those terms, like if the rumors turn out to be true, like then we could possibly see a return of the legit boss and the standard and the blueprint on WWE, perhaps on Friday Night SmackDown. If those negotiations be successful, like those rumored negotiations be successful, but not sure like if she will. That depending on what's her contract status with the company, and also like, or should I say like, I'll say not contract, I'll say more like a negotiation status, and also like, even if she did make like a Royal Rumble return, like will that be a one off, or will it be if it's gonna be a permanent kind of like it's gonna be a permanent return, like she's gonna be staying around, and it's gonna be a big shocking return, and she'll be in some kind of a be in some kind of a feud with Damage Control alongside her longtime best friend, the Tropicana Bailey, like what I call her, but her longtime best friend Bailey herself. Yeah, maybe that'll be one of the reasons why she come back to tell the story, like with facing Damage Control, with her possibly getting kicked out of uh, of the group. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, is gonna make her WWE return in 2024? And that's what she was referring to on Cameo. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But like I said, I don't know. She could be referring to continuing her work in New Japan, because considering she never got a chance to become the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. But we'll see what's going to be her future in uh in her side in the world of professional wrestling. And but I can expect, yeah, Bianca could team with her, like along with the three of them, and same with Shotzi, even though she had some beef with her, but that was when she was in Damage Control, not when she changed and she got kicked out of the group. But let's move on to the next wrestling news report and the next wrestling article, and that is current WWE superstar set to compete overseas, like for a major title. WWE is all set to the company. Yeah, I mean, all set for the coming year, as three blockbuster weekly television events like are set to kick the year off for the company. Meanwhile, another shocking announcement was made as of a certain wrestler from the promotion is set to compete overseas for a major championship. All Japan Pro Wrestling is one of Japan's oldest wrestling companies, dating back to 1972, when Gi- when Baba like established it, like following his split from JWA J JWA, like the company has produced many memorable matches and stars over the past few decades, and is looking forward to ending and starting the new year with a bang. Today on AJPW's official Twitter X account, uh, promote account promotional like material was released, where President like uh, Fu Fuku Fukuda Fukuda was seen talking to a rep for to a rep to a represent of a of a representative, talking to a representative of WWE who will be sending a superstar to compete for the Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship. The only information provided in the video is that it is going to be a NXT wrestler. And according to this article, the the assassin that President that's it, and it's saying the assassin that President Fukuda is trying to make into a Triple Crown champion for 1-3. Is it is it true? President Fu, Fukuda, are you okay? Okay, President Fukuda. It says former 7-time WWE champion also settled for Noah in 2023. Earlier this year, Shinsuke Nakamura returned to WWE and was drafted to Monday Night Raw. For the first time in his career, he turned heel after a while, and feuded with Seth Rollins on the Red brand. After receiving numerous title shots against the World Heavyweight Champion, the King of Strong Style finally lost the feud at Fastlane in 2023 in a last man standing match. After the event, he teased a new rival for weeks, which turned out to be Cody Rhodes. However, he was absent from weekly television for a while at the beginning of the year. While fans speculated injury, he went to Noah while working with the Stanford-based promotion. He wrestled the Great Muta for the promotion, and defeated him at the beginning of 2023 at Noah, the new year the new year 2023, which yeah, it was a somewhat, you could say, a dream match, and they were even hyping it up on back at the end of 2022 on SmackDown, saying Shinsuke Nakamura is in this dream match against the Great Muta. The Great Muta, for on this Pro Wrestling Noah promotion. And what's your thoughts on this particular NXT wrestler to wrestle at All Japan Pro Wrestling by 2024 on this Triple Crown tournament? And who you think it is? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your speculations or predictions or theory, even, or who could possibly be that's going to go to go to All Japan Pro Wrestling and wrestle there in a invitational kind of Triple Crown tournament. Next up, we got current major WWE superstar was almost fired last year. Details about a relationship with Vince McMahon revealed. It says, former WWE superstar Mace disclosed that LA Knight was almost fired and addressed what the megastar's relationship with Vince McMahon was like. Knight Knight initially had a short run in the company, or Stanford-based company, like between 2013 to 2014. 2 years ago, like the 41-year-old returned to the promotion, like and and sent and like and sent about a year in NXT before uh, making his main roster debut in 2022 as Max Dupree, like the leader of the Maximum Male Models. Like later that same year, he left the group and returned to his former persona as L.A. Knight. Yeah. Speaking on Cafe de Rene podcast, like the former Maximum Male Models, the former Maximum Male Models member Mace, like claimed Knight almost got fired while playing Max Dupree. Like he claimed Vince McMahon disliked his performance. He said, "The reality is that like he was almost gone, like based on I guess his performance or how Vince felt about his performance in that role. Like we would come back from these super long segment, long fashion shows, and we'd get to the back, and Vince would just be like, "Boys, like that was great. You looked amazing," and then he'd come up and he'd be like, "That was awful. Like, did you not know you're like it you know like you're like it was just like he would just railed into him every time, and he would walk away, and we'd have to like calm him down because was second from she was seconds from just exploding because it was brutal for him, he said on the article 837 to 917. With like saying like I and he also added like I would have slapped him in the face like really like oh yeah what I'm saying. Yeah, he said I would have slapped him in the face, like released WWE star on if they have real life heat with LA Knight. You can check that out as well, like on another article. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. For the difficulties and okay. SNA is back, but let's continue. What's your thoughts on Mace's comments about LA Knight? Like, in this time is Max Dupree, nearly got him fired because of McMahon not liking his performance, and him and Mansoor had to calm down Max Dupree from exploding onto Vince McMahon. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what your thoughts on the matter is. And we're gonna continue with Mace was not surprised by his WWE release. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. But we got some more news about Mace, and it says speaking on Denise Salcido on instant or instant culture. Mace recently opened up about his release from WWE. The 32-year-old former member of Maximum Male Models claimed that he was not super surprised by his firing. He disclosed that he had already known about Mansoor's release by the time he was formed about his. He said, when it came down to the end, it's not like I was super surprised. I heard that like release were happening, and when my time came, I actually missed the call because I was going through a dead zone, like picking up my youngest daughter from school. Like there's like a bad cell phone tour, like a cell phone tower, like a bad cell phone tower area. And when I pulled in at home, I had gotten a message from the guy who was doing the firings, and I was like, oh, like there it is, and I had already heard from Mansoor that he had gotten released, so I wasn't surprised. But at the same time, something something has ended for me. Has ended for me, he said. And was Maximum Male Models supposed to be a gay WWE faction? Mansoor revealed Vince McMahon's original idea. And that's what my mom thought of that as well. Like, is it supposed to be some kind of a gay faction? Which my mother saw this, and she was thinking the same thing. She was like, how did like why are they making them look or making them dress like that? Like if they're a couple of gay models, and she was like not the judge, but yeah, what is what is up with that? Which I was like, I'm not sure. Like at least in character, I know that they're not really gay in real life, but and then it no judging about it, even if they were. But I'm saying maybe they are on the show. I don't know. It's just confused. Like they didn't confirm anything. So I cannot assume what it could possibly be. Like back at 2022 at that time. But yeah, it really depends on how Vince McMahon was trying to book the male models back in 2022 before he retired due to the hush money scandal, of course. But we're gonna hear from the other released star that used to be in the Maximum Male Models. And it says right here, former WWE superstar Mansoor revealed Vince McMahon's original idea behind Maximum Male Models, revealing it if they were supposed to be a gay character, be gay characters. Maximum Male Models was formed in 2022 on SmackDown by L.A. Knight, who then debuted as Max Dupree. He like recruited Mason Mansour as his clients, before they were joined by his own. I mean, by I'm not his own, by his on-screen sister Maxine Dupree. However, the faction disbanded earlier this year after Knight left the group and Maxine aligned herself with Alpha Academy. Meanwhile, Mansour and Mace were released from their contracts in September 2023. While some fans believed Mason Mansour were playing gay characters in Maximum Male Models, the Saudi star disclosed the original idea behind their personas during a recent interview with like Rene Dupree's on Cafe de Rene podcast. He recalled Vince McMahon pitching him the idea of it. He says, listen, you're gonna be a male model with Mace. Makes sense, right? You're a couple, you're a couple of good looking young men, and I'm Vince, you're making me blush. This is where Vince, this is where, not Vince, this is where he laughs. And also continue by saying, and I'm well, sir, I mean, is this gonna affect the Saudi thing at all? This where he was like, no, 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 no. Listen, you're two straight male models, he said. Like it's not gay at all. It imitating Vince's voice while saying it. It's not gay at all. Mace added. Mace added also saying totally. But Mace added but yeah, this article was on 701 while to 723, while Mace added right here saying totally hit Terrial completely. We love TITS, which straight guy does not, but I'm not gonna get into that. This is a family video. But we love, like he said, we love women great. But we just also happen to love fashion, and taking care of our skin makes total sense, right? Which is on the article 725 to 734. Mason Mansour took major shot at L.A. Knight and another popular WWE star. You can check that out on the other article. But before joining Maximum Male Models, like Mansour disclosed he was not booked for a Saudi show. Hence he approached Vince McMahon to inquire about his position the latter told him he told him he uh he, he did not have to be on every Saudi show. Like speaking on the same interview with Rene Dupree on his Cafe de Rene podcast, he disclosed that he was convinced he was getting fired. He said, I'm just like my heart sunk into my a-hole. I was done. I was ready for my career to be over, he said. Mansour's partner, Mace, says goofy and bad angle was the best opportunity he ever got in WWE in 4 years. What's your thoughts on that? With him already knowing, what are your thoughts about Mansoor? Already knowing that, already knowing that, excuse me, already knowing that he was going to be fired. When he was asked about being on every Saudi show, and he was like, you don't have to be on every Saudi show, and also about like just because, yeah, but this was yeah, but yeah, what's your thoughts on that, and what's your thoughts on him revealing that he thought when he's gonna be a male model character, this male model character on SmackDown on WWE television, he thought he was gonna play a gay male model along with Mace, but McMahon got confirmed that it wasn't a gay modeling character. It was just a, I'll say, an oversensitive kind of male model character along with Mace. With Mace confirming that they're not really really gay. They really love women. Obviously, or else why does Mace have wife and kids? But anyways, so that's kind of obvious. But anyways, let me know in the comments about all that. What came out of Mace's Mace and Mansour's comments, from their respective interviews from these past couple of podcasts, from the past couple of days. Let's move on to the next wrestling. Let's move on to the next wrestling news, and that is with the news that we saw. What that I read about on the last wrestling news article, and it said I would have slapped him in the face. Release WWE stars on if they have real life heat with LA Knight. And according to this article, it says former WWE superstar Mace and Mansoor recently denied having heat with LA Knight. The two superstars worked closely with the 41-year-old star when they became part of his Maximum Male Models faction. However, the megastar later left the group in early 2023 and dropped his Max Dupree gimmick to return to his LA Knight persona. While Knight became a company became a top star in the Stanford-based company, Mansoor and Mace were released from their contracts in September 2023. Also, in the same interview on the Cafe de Rene podcast, Mason Mansoor addressed whether whether they have real life heat with LA Knight, and they respond, "Is is there heat with LA Knight? No, no. Honestly, like if anybody else was in that position, especially him, he was he has been doing this LA Knight character, but it's really just a very a variation of what he's been doing, like, and that's his shtick. Like like what got him to the dance, and for him to even have put up with having to be our manager, knowing how being I mean, no, knowing how not knowing how big he could have been on his own. Like as soon as that opportunity comes up, I would have slapped him in the face if he didn't take that opportunity. Like Mace said, like I didn't expect anything else. Like Mansour added on the article of 744 to a like oh 07 0744 to 0821 of the article. You can read it. And what's your thoughts on this, of them saying this, like of them? What's your thoughts on of them saying that, like if they wouldn't be? But yeah, what's your thoughts on Mason Mansour uh opinion on what's your thoughts? Yeah, what's your thoughts on the former male models of opinions on L.A. Knight? And what's your thoughts on Mace saying, like, if he didn't take the opportunity to be an L.A. Knight, he would have slapped him right to the face? Like, what's your thoughts on any of those? Yeah, basically, y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to some Zelina Vega news. Response to 42-year-old star, like bragging about a brutal move on WWE SmackDown. And it says right here, the WWE superstar Zelina Vega has taken to social media respond respond to a 42-year-old uh, female star who proudly begged that I mean not big bragged about her brutal move on Friday Night SmackDown this past last night, I should say, because SmackDown was last night. Make sure you check out the SmackDown review. SmackDown's holiday cheer took a sharp turn when Damage Control members like Io Sky, Bailey, Kyrie Sane, and like Asuka and in the baby faces like Michin and Shotzi and Bianca and Vega locked horns in a chaotic 8 women miracle on 84th not 84 8 not 80 uh 34th Street fight, I should say 34. My bad, my apology. I said 34th Street fight. That's where like the Empress of Tomorrow never never one to shy away from drama, like unli- unleashed a signature move that left Queen Vega momentarily blinded with a green mist. The the OC member, however, capitalized on the confusion, securing a victory. And first of all, they called Zelina Vega Queen Vega, making, I'm not sure if it's an error or they purposely did this, like by referring to her as former queen, but they probably mistakenly forgot to call her the former queen of the ring or former queen's crown winner. Like making an error like I did last night when I was recapping the 8 women tag Miracle and 34th Street fight, like on this holiday edition of Friday Night SmackDown. But anyways, it also says, but the real fireworks were on Twitter, where Oscar with a sharp tongue, like in a mischievous mischievous grin, taunting Queen Vega. Like this led to the LWO members sending a reply to the former WWE Women's Champion, stating that the green mist nearly burned her eyeballs out, and that her vision was still blurred. By saying on the caption, "I mean, I know you right, but like you nearby burned my eyeballs out. My vision is still blurred," Vega wrote. You can see the tweet right here. And hopefully Vega and her eyeballs has soon fully healed by now. But what's your thoughts on what's your thoughts on Zelina Vega's eyeballs being still blurry, or not eyeballs? I mean, I, her eye vision, I should say, her vision still a bit blurry from taking such a painful spot by taking some green burning mist, which had to be some kind of a it had to be some jalapeno kind of flavor mist that she spat on her eyes because it looked like it was like because yeah, after all, it was the color green. And two, it's like what Michael Cole says, the same color of the Christmas holiday. But anyways, Zelina Vega sent a one-word message after Santos Escobar was assisted by NXT team on WWE SmackDown recently last night. On the latest episode of Friday Night SmackDown, Santos Escobar took on Bobby Lashley in the semifinals of the United States Championship Invitational Tournament. The match The match's closing moment saw Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo diverting the Almighty by attacking the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, allowing Escobar to pick up the victory. Vega responded to the NXT tag teams debut on SmackDown alongside the former LWO member. Like the 32-year-old female star expressed her her frustration the frustration with censored slang for the trio. What am I supposed to do? But yeah, you can check that out on this article in here on the on the article on here on Sportskeeda, yeah. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that as well? What's your thoughts on Los Lotharios making their SmackDown return from NXT? And do you think it's going to be more often? And it's just a recall up for the for the Los Lotharios team, or do you think it could be a one off, which I doubt it will be, because they just attack the Street Profits along with Santos Escobar making a quick victory with the surprise roll up onto Bobby Lashley. So it looks like that the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley will make a challenge to Santos Escobar and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what's your thought of and what's your thoughts on this matter, which I believe they could still be making appearances on NXT, but also can be playing this role as Santos Escobar's new minions. But either way, hopefully we see this continued, like for the fact that they get that the Los Lotharios cost Bobby Lashley a chance of being number one contender for the United States Championship. But I believe that Kevin Owens would win because one, he's the favorite, and two, even if he wasn't the favorite, they would still put make it to the story like that. The Street Profits and Bobby Lashley will get their revenge on the former cruiserweight champion, and they'll have him, and this will give Kevin Owens the advantage. Like, even though they're not per se helping Owens out, but they're just getting revenge on the Santos Escobar and the Los Lotharios team. Like, if they try to be slick and try to do the same thing what they did to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits the week prior, that will be my prediction. Like, they'll try to do it like in that way, and then Bobby Lashley and the Profits will prevent that from happening by stopping them from doing so in the first place. Well, yeah, let's move on to the next. Up next, we got Matt Hardy selects 27-year-old WWE star as female wrestler of the year. And it says Matt Hardy recently hanged out with several wrestling awards, like in a year, like end episode of his podcast. The current AEW star gave his thoughts on the most impressive women in the wrestling industry right now, including Rhea Ripley. Ripley won the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match before defeating Charlotte Flair in one of the most memorable bouts from WrestleMania 39 weekend. Since then, the Women's World Champion has continued to feature prominently on Raw alongside her fellow Judgment Day members. On his Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Hardy named the 27-year-old as the female wrestler of the year. He said, "The female that stands out to me more than anybody else in the year 2023, my pick would be Rhea Ripley. I think it was a very special year for her, especially winning the championship, the elevation with the Judgment Day, and just the stuff she's done with Dominic. Like, has really kept her in everyone's mind," which is in the article of 116.26 to 116.53. And it says, he says Rhea Ripley has retained. Rhea Ripley has retained against the likes of Natalia, Raquel Rodriguez, Zelina Vega, and even Zoe Stark in premium live event singles matches since May. She also defeated both Raquel Rodriguez and Zoe Stark, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler in a fatal five-way match at Crown Jewel a month ago. Matt Hardy also added an honorable mentions in the female wrestler in the year category. Like outside of WWE, Matt Hardy has been impressed with the likes of Athena and Toni Storm's progress in Ring of Honor and AEW, respectively, in 2023. Hardy also gave credit to WWE stars like Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for continuing to perform at a high level, like 8 years after their main roster call-ups. He said, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, they're always gonna be in there, being in there while they're in here doing their thing. They're always great. Which that's on article 116.16 to 116.23. And there's a post back from Becky Lynch when she was NXT Women's Champion, which I'm not sure if it's necessary for me to show this, but just showing the picture of it. A very clear picture. It says, in the same episode, Hardy provide his thoughts on which wrestler which wrestler could realize, like, it says, thoughts on which wrestler could realistically win the undisputed WWE Universal Champion from Roman Reigns in 2024, which that's in another article, which we'll talk about that later in just a second. Hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. But yeah, do you think that Rhea Ripley was the female wrestler of the year? Let us, yeah. But yeah, do you think so too? Just like Matt Hardy on his in his Extreme Life podcast, like he brought up on his Extreme Life podcast. Let me know in the comments down below. I would say in the WWE side of things, yes. I'll say, but I mean, she's on the top 5 list of overall in professional wrestling as the best women's wrestlers in 2023, on my opinion. Of course, I'll say a top 5 list, if not a top 10 list of top women's wrestlers in all of professional wrestling. But yeah, let's move on to the next news now. Let's hope it's Matt Hardy talking about Roman Reigns. If not, then I'll go back to this article and just talk about it anyways. Up next, we got some, I guess you could say, some Sasha Banks news now. We'll finally return to WWE, and major AEW champion could also join the company. Comedian Jeff Dye predicts. But let's see, from former WWE superstar Sasha Banks has been the subject of significant speculation lately, with many fans wondering if she will return to the company next year. Could a major AEW star also could join World Wrestling Entertainment in 2024? Although Banks has yet to wrestle in a in a match since May, like 2023. Reports have recently emerged on her asking price, like for a WWE comeback. Comedian Jeff Dye gave his prediction for the popular competitor, like on the Wrestling with Freddie podcast. He said Dye believes, Dye believes that Banks will return under the creative leadership of WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H. Like he said, where does Sasha Banks land? Like it's not AEW. She's gonna come to WWE. She's gonna come right back. That's my prediction. Meanwhile, AEW World Champion MJF has often been speculated as someone who could eventually end up in World Wrestling Entertainment. Even Cody Rhodes spoke about it not too long ago. Jeff Dye had the following to say about MJF by saying, I think MJF is going to go to WWE. It's time for that next big step for him. The next big stage, you might say, why isn't he loyal to AEW? Dude, he's done everything you can do there. He continued, they're gonna they're gonna throw a heap of money at MJF, and he's gonna go all right. Like I'll see, I'll see what I can do over here. It if all rails like in WWE, if if for whatever reason they can make the gold child of MJF work, he'll just go back to anywhere like else. He wants that. Well, he wants like that's what the best do. Like when you're as good and as famous and as over as MJF is, you don't gotta worry about what what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen if it doesn't go as hoped. Before leaving the company in 2022, Sasha Banks held the Women's Tag Team Championship with Naomi. The duo defeated Natalia and Shayna Baszler in a three back-to-back matches like during May of that year. Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, has mainly wrestled at New Japan Pro Wrestling at New Japan events ever since then. While Naomi, which now going by Trinity, her real name, joined Impact Wrestling, which she's now is the Impact Knockouts Women's Championship, which soon to be TNA. And I heard that she was also. I also heard that Trinity was the the women's star of the year. Like I'll say the women's wrestler of the year or the women's star of the year of Impact Wrestling of 2023, which I believe she deserves that an award because she made a shocking debut there and also became Impact Knockouts champion, and she's been holding that title and becoming a great champion. What I hear from these wrestling news articles and videos from all over the web, of course. But anyways, let's talk about what's your thoughts on like MJF possibly can join WWE, and same with Sasha Banks making her return. And do you think WWE is going to give her this high offer? I mean, not offer, but the high request, like if she ever made the return jump to WWE, which that's probably like the number one reason why she would go back because of the higher offer. Something similar to like an MJF like scenario, which I would believe MJF could possibly go to WWE as soon as his contract expires if he decides to go to World Wrestling Entertainment, because it looks like Triple H and Tony Khan's going to give him like somewhere near a similar offer. Like maybe one of them could be a little more higher, but what difference would that make? Even though that's more money, but it depends on the offer they're going to give him. That's what I think that's where it's going to be. But I would say, like I said before, and I'll say it again about Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks. Like I would say, it. I think she's going to be making a Royal Rumble return, but as far as making a full-time WWE return, I don't know. Like it depends. Like on what if, are they going to tell a good story about her on WWE? Like even like with her teaming with Bailey, like I said earlier, like it could be with her against Damage Control with Io Sky, Dakota Kai, uh, the girl that she beat at the beginning of this year in New Japan. What's that Battle of the Valley for the IWGP Women's Champion Kairi Sane and Asuka. My teaming with Shotzi and Bianca Belair. Like it'll be the four of them against the four of them. Like if Bailey gets kicked out of the Damage Control group. But only time will tell whenever whatever happens into that timeline. But stay tuned, Jed. See what's going to be next, and let me know in the comments below about these two joining WWE. Well, one of them rejoining because she already wrestled there, and she could wrestle there again. Like whether if it's a one-off appearance or a full time. Well, MJF can make his debut by being a like at least the Cody Rhodes as assistant. Like if they get him called up to the main roster, he don't have to per se. He could be being in ringside in Cody Rhodes' matches. Like that's the way I would see it. But or they could make him like a special figure, like they doing with Jade Cargill. Like like something similar with her. Like she's a big name, but they're waiting for that time for her. They get in the ring like when that time comes. But let us know in the comments down below on what's your thoughts on that matter. But let's move on to the next news, and that is let's move on to CM Punk's upcoming WWE schedule confirmed. Like it says earlier today, CM Punk confirmed the upcoming dates like for his appearance on WWE live event shows and Monday Night Raw. The straight edge superstar has already announced his spot at the 2024 Royal Rumble match. Like his announcement, like for the men's Royal Rumble match, like came after after a fierce promo like battle against world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins. The Stanford-based promotion like has already announced that Punk will take on Dominic Mysterio during WWE's holiday tour on December 26th, like at the Madison Square Garden, New York City, hitting New Year's Eve, like the best in the world, like the best in the world. It says the best in the world will once again face the young Judgment Day member as December 30th, like at the at December 30th at the Kia Forum in Forum Arena in Inglewood, California. Buckle up, like buckle up because you got Portland, we got New Orleans. Like CM Punk just dropped the news on Instagram that he's hitting the Raw stage 2 times, like in January. Like the first stop is Rose City, like in January 8th, and then he's bringing the stage edge, not the stage, the straight edge. My bad, the straight edge superstar vibes to the Big Easy on January 22nd, which will be the go home show Monday Night Raw in live in New Orleans, Louisiana, of in January 22nd, 2024. And you can see it right here on his Instagram story. And what's your thoughts on that? Like after he faces Dominic Mysterio the day before the final day of 2023 on the holiday tour on the house show. And what's your thoughts on CM Punk could possibly could possibly what is CM Punk's going to be doing like in the first January of Monday, in the last January, like the the fourth Monday on January. Yeah, it's the fourth Monday on January and the first Monday of January. Or not the first, the second Monday, because the first will be the first, like day one. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what's your thoughts on that. And do you think that he did that on his own, or was requested by WWE to do so? Like all part of his advertisement, like on his side of things, on all part of the advertisement perspectives of him on his social media account, of course. Yeah. But also we got wrestling veteran fired shots at a fan like for criticizing Okay. Okay, I'll get you some. I'll say right now. Criticize CM Punk's WWE return. Before I get on to that, I'm gonna get my nephew some juice. All right. Okay. SNA back. Okay, we're gonna talk about Karrion Cross. Or not Karrion Cross. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Conan recently fired back at a fan who criticized the Second City Saints WWE return in an attempt to defend Punk. like a fan dared to throw shade at CM Punk's booking during Keeping It 100 official, suggesting AJ Styles and Karrion Kross deserves that spotlight. But Conan wasn't about to entertain the negativity. He like the wrestling veteran turned the mic into a megaphone, like passionately explaining like how Punk's return has electrified the WWE universe and injected much needed buzz. He said, I would suggest you informed yourself better about the business because the buzz, the rating, like when he came back, the merchandise, the merchandise sales, all of that. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, and it kind of sounds like, and I could be wrong here that you're being a hater. So quiet, being a hater. Qu- quit being. Okay, I'll be right there. Being uniformed, and look at this business, pro, pragmatically, and not like some fanboy echo chamber. Like that's as nice as I could be. Trey, that's enough. Okay, before I explain like about what Conan just said to the fan, I mean about explain what he mean, what he said to the fan at the time. I'm gonna take my nephew out to watch some Ryan's World. And hold on, why he said that.
Get in that rug.
Okay. Hey, let's play Ryan's World for YouTube. For my nephew. Excuse me. But yeah, like Conan has a point. Like CM Punk's been doing a lot of things, like making himself known, and even announcing that he's gonna be like making more appearances, and he's going to face the likes of Dominic Mysterio and even enter the Royal Rumble. And why are fans being so negative and critical? Like he's well established. That's why he's being getting that special treatment as the main eventer. I mean, don't get me wrong, Karrion Kross and AJ Styles are in that level, but they're gradually building towards the likes of them, like especially Cross. But considering that he's in those hype videos, which he's perhaps gonna get some kind of a push at some hand, like even face somebody, go after for the undisputed WWE Universal Champion probably by this summer. I would say give him about like in the middle, like one of the middle pay per views, like a Night of Champions, or even Night of Champions, or even not Backlash. I'd say Night of Champions, or what's the other one? I'll say maybe Battleground or Payback, like, or even Money in the Bank. Like either of those pay per views, like expect him like to get an undisputed WWE Universal Championship opportunity by that time. But CM Punk, like, yeah, the reason why I hype him up because he could possibly be an opportunity for he could be on his way for an opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship or the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So that's why he's going to always be talked about, and he's being absolutely hyped up and advertised because he's money drawn all over himself, like, and he's the guy that everybody would like to see, like to see what's next and what dream matches he could be facing the superstars in the roster in WWE right now. That 3/4 of he never got a chance to wrestle because he left over a decade ago, and things have changed by since then. Yeah. But what's your thoughts on Conan's comments, which you would agree, of course, most of y'all would like, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Do you agree, or do you think that he went a little overboard with the praise by CM Punk, which there's no overpraise like when it comes to speaking facts about Punk's achievements, like what he's been doing from the past. I'll say from the past almost 2 months, ever since coming back to the Stanford-based company. But yeah, we're gonna see what's next for the CM, and the fans are just, and even the negative fans, I should say, and even have to no choice but to honor that, like about the wrestlers' achievements and success of their work in the industry. And we're gonna have to move on to the. And I guess we'll end today's video with. Okay, I couldn't find it nowhere, so I'm just gonna have to about on the same interview with the with the Extreme Life podcast from Matt Hardy, and it is former WWE IC champion will dethrone the tribal chief, like at WrestleMania 40, like what Matt Hardy predicted. Like Roman Reigns' WrestleMania 40 opponent, like remains a topic like of debate, like among fans, like and wrestlers. In a recent podcast episode, AEW star Matt Hardy named Cody Rhodes as the most likely man to face and possibly dethrone the tribal chief, which is he's got the same prediction as I do right now. And this is where Matt Hardy had to say, like while reading this thing, like, well, not just yet. I mean, like it says, Reigns defeated to two-time Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania 39 to retain the undisputed Universal Championship for many months. Like the American Nightmare and the Rock appeared to be the only two candidates, like to face the Bloodline leader at WrestleMania 40. However, CM Punk has now emerged as another realistic contender. But yeah, speaking on his the Extreme Live podcast, Matt Hart, Matt Hardy addressed whether Rhodes could beat Roman Reigns at that could beat Roman Reigns at the show of shows on April 16th or 7th. April 6th or 7th, 2024. He said, "I ne- he's like I think so. I hope like so. I was just gonna say too. I thought it was really interesting. He had an interaction with CM Punk where CM Punk said he wants to actually be in the last match, which is the main event of WrestleMania, and he wants to finish his story. So there was already uh, a good dynamic with them in the Royal Rumble. Like what's this, the article 5638 to 5657. Rhodes is currently feuding with Shinsuke Nakamura on Raw. Reigns, meanwhile, is scheduled to face AJ Styles, either AJ Styles or LA Knight or Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble, on January 27th, 2024. Like how, like, but what's your thoughts on who could possibly dethrone Roman Reigns? And do you think will it be CM Punk or will it be Cody Rhodes? And who's going to be finishing their story first? Which I think CM Punk will. He'll finish his story first, but not with Roman Reigns. Perhaps rather on the other night, night one, against Seth Rollins, whether if he gets it by a number one contender spot or even winning the Royal Rumble. I think he got a main event this coming year in 2024's showcase of the Immortal event, and also think Cody Rhodes is gonna finish his story by finally defeating Roman Reigns at Night 2 at WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. But let me know in the comments down below on what you guys think on what's the scenario of this situation. But okay, let's also talk about one more news about Cody, like how Cody Rhodes could set up Roman Reigns rematch on January 28th. Cody Rhodes outlasted 29 other superstars the win to win 2023's men's Royal Rumble match. He went on to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39, where interference from the bloodline ultimately cost him from to winning the title. As Matt Hardy referenced CM Punk, and Rhodes had already declared their entries into the men's Royal Rumble match, which I believe one of them's going to win, which I believe most of us in the IWC would agree onto that term. But anyways, on that term, but realistically, a second a six, second successive Royal Rumble victory represents Rhodes' most pro, probable route to a WrestleMania 40 rematch with Roman Reigns. The former AEW executive vice president is aligned to the Raw brand, while Reigns is a SmackDown roster member. For 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 that reason, they are unlikely to cross paths again unless one one superstar switches brands or Rhodes win the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble. But yeah, do you think that Rhodes can do it again and this time to dethrone the tribal chief, or do you think it's going to be happening all over again for the? I'll say it's going to happen all over again, like for the I don't know, like perhaps the second time in a row. Okay, I was kidding. I do know, like which is yeah, obviously yeah, he already beat him previously, but yeah, like seriously, I think Roman Reigns this time is gonna win, and And what's your thoughts on Matt Hardy predicting it will be Cody Rhodes? And then he praising both his former colleagues from both WWE and AEW to tease that this might happen either way, whether if it's Punk that wins the Rumble or Rhodes that wins because Cody Rhodes declared him his first spot while CM Punk's second onto the list on of entering the Royal Rumble match on the road to WrestleMania 40. And who's going to win that match? Who's going to face either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins? If either man is still going to be a heavyweight champion at the time, like if Roman Reigns can retain against either L.A. Knight or AJ Styles or Randy Orton, and then for Seth Rollins' case, like either likes of Drew McIntyre or even any members of the Judgment Day, like whether if that being not Finn, I'll say Damian Priest or Dominic Mysterio rather than Finn Balor, or anybody else in the roster that could possibly could face him, like another top heel competitor, which I don't think will be Gunther anytime soon because for the fact that he's Intercontinental Champion. I would say, who could possibly fits in that list? Maybe Brock Lesnar, but no, I don't think he'll rather be at the Royal Rumble match. So he's out of the picture. So I would say that's a good question. Who could Rollins face? Because he already beaten like most of the heels there on the Raw brand. I mean, he could face Jinder Mahal, but he haven't did much. Like only barely made appearances in the tag division by managing Indashir, Veer Mahan, and Shanga. So I would say I'm not sure about that point, like which I believe they would retain, like with Seth Rollins doing it honestly, while Reigns not so much. Like depending on his remaining cousins of the bloodline, like being on there, like with Jey Uso no longer being a part of the bloodline, I should say. Like he could be on his way of facing his own brother, which they even predict that might happen, which I still think it's still going to happen. Except this time it's going to be with Rikishi being a special guest referee, which was supposed to be a payback, but a wrestling convention event kind of spoiled it. Like when it was supposed to be like at payback, but they postponed it like probably for another time, which I believe it will be at WrestleMania when they do have this match. But no worries, no spoilers here. I don't know any speculations whatsoever about of the matter, like of it being the case. Like I don't know about that unless they announced it. Like if they announced it, like if Jimmy Uso challenged or Jey Uso challenged Jimmy Uso in a match for whatever reason, and then they gonna involve their father into the match being the special guest referee. But let me know in the comments down below. And yes, sir, ma'am, that was your wrestling news review, wrestling news video of episode 192, like of the SNA podcast. Of course, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was the wrestling news video where we talked about the wildest wrestling news story and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from Sportskeeda. And this was part 74, like of doing the series. And what's your thoughts on today's video? And which one was your favorite out of the list of the wrestling news? Let me know also about that in the comments down below. And also give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And If you want to watch more of my content, make sure to subscribe and click the bell notification. And also, you'll be notified when I upload my newest videos. That's going to be coming up in the foreseeable future. Like later on this evening, I'll be making my weekly AEW Collision review, a Holiday Bash edition. But this will be the last AEW Collision review and my last ever weekly wrestling televised review of 2023 on this series on the SNA podcast. So make sure you check it out. Like, hopefully it gets more interesting because we are going to see the returning Thunder Rosa, like teaming with Abaddon, taking on the TBS Women's Champion Julia Hart and her new ally Sky Blue, I should say. And then we also have the men's Blue Leagues tournament of the Blue Leagues Continental Classic tournament with Brody King taking on, I believe, will be Daniel Garcia, and then we got Brian Danielson against Claudio Castagnoli, and Eddie Kingston taking on Andrade, was it? Yeah. And who's going to win those matches, by the way? Which I believe those are going to be the top 3 matches of the night. Well, at least 2 with Brian Danielson against Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston versus Andrade El Idolo, which those guys never disappoint whatsoever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would say Daniel Garcia taking on Brody King wouldn't be a bad match. I'd say maybe I not underestimating them, but utilizing them just a little bit, like of praising them of being a good match. I'd say I would think of it being like a squash match, but maybe I'm underestimating it a little bit. Maybe this will be the match of the night and grab my interest. But let me know in the comments how AEW Collision is going to end up like. It's going to be the final tournament, the final round of the tournament of round 5. Who's going to get more of the points and who's going to see who at next week's semifinals, which the winner will take on one of the guys that's on the Gold Leagues that's on the semifinals, whether that being Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland, or even Jay White, which my prediction will be between Brian Danielson or Eddie Kingston. They'll take on either Moxley or Swerve Strickland. I would say Jay White, but he just got this win. And then Swerve's looking hot right now. At first, I was thinking of Jay White, but I think I kind of changed my mind here, and I would choose Swerve Strickland at this point. I would say maybe it could be Brian Danielson against Swerve Strickland, but then again, that would just give Eddie Kingston up, that would get him automatically eliminated, and he loses both his New Japan Strong Openweight Championship and his Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, which that wouldn't be much of a problem. He'll lose him by honor. With him, it won't be in vain. It'll be in a very good match that will have him be so close to becoming the new Continental Champion. But and the same, if it was the semifinals, but Swerve Strickland will find a way to beat him and become the new AEW Continental Triple Crown Champion. But until that happens, we're just got to wait and see by starting off, continue to watch the Continental Classic Tournament in the final round and in the 5th round of the Blue Leagues. We're going to go into the semifinals. Semifinals into the tournament. But yeah, stay tuned as well for those who want to watch and hopefully y'all have a great Saturday afternoon, and I'll see you all in the next video later on this evening, I should say. But yeah, you know the deal. Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out of here, and see you this evening. Bye bye, my SNA fans. Y'all have an early, great Merry Christmas and a happy holidays.